Welcome to the 2024 NBA Draft Day 2 live stream. My name is Chris Ransom. If you want to revisit the first round, round 1 is up on YouTube. I'll also have a recap show on Saturday, July 6th, where Joey and I will recap every pick he missed after he left the call following the lottery picks. But yes, Toronto's going to be on the clock at 31. They got Jacoby Walter at 19. I love the value of Jacoby Walter at that pick, at that spot. They do. I feel like I would have addressed depth at power forward and center though, because Ole Nick's a 2026 UFA. Jacob Podol's a 2027 UFA. RJ Barrett's an RFA. He's still young. But, if Barrett doesn't take that leap in the next 2 years, I can understand the thought process in trying to move him to another team, especially if Jacoby Walter ends up developing correctly. So I get both sides of the coin. That's why you go for best player over need when you have a good starting five. There's about 5 players that I had first round grades on that fell to the second round, and Filipkowski's the only guy still on the board. I do not know how early he will come off the board, but we're going to find out what the Raptors are going to do here because the picks are going to be flying in any minute. They are. The picks are going to be flying in any minute now. So we do have a trade update here for Toronto. So Jalen McDaniels is going to go to the Kings for Davion Mitchell and Sasha Vezenikov. And I am going to look at Toronto's starting five briefly here before we get into this draft. So you've got Quickly, you've got RJ Barrett, you've got Scotty Barnes, Kelly Olynyk. I thought Jalen McDaniels was on Minnesota, but I guess there's a second Jalen McDaniels, and Javion Mitchell has just been traded to the Raptors as a backup point guard too quickly. I really do like that move for Toronto. Objectively speaking, that's a good trade for Toronto. And the draft is not going to start for another 12 minutes. Guys, ESPN, nobody gives a shit about the pre-draft show. I'm sorry if that offends you guys, but we just want to know who's going to get picked. So, we have another update. In addition to that, the Kings are sending the Raptors their second. So, the Raptors now have 2 second-round picks thanks to this trade with the Sacramento Kings. Sacramento Kings no longer own 45. The Raptors now own 45. I'm going to code that in right now during this 12-minute window. But the Toronto Raptors now own the 46th pick from the Sacramento Kings in a trade. So, that's a big deal because the Kings traded that second. Kings are not the type of team that shops for talent, but their thought process was, we're going to take Jalen McDaniels. We'll take depth at small forward. And now the Toronto Raptors own picks 45 and 31 today. Very interesting way to start the draft, though. And yes, if there's any leaks that come out in the next 10 minutes, I will be the first to report them. So Davion Mitchell and Jacoby Walter, the 2 Baylor So the Raptors, they can get depth at both power forward and center with these 2 second-round picks. I really don't think they needed to make this move, but it does give you the flexibility to deal some players, get some assets back. So, we'll see what happens here. And for everybody that remembers, Davion Mitchell was drafted by Sacramento. No, he was drafted by Indiana, I believe. No, yeah, Davion Mitchell was drafted by Sacramento in 2021 as a depth piece because remember, Sacramento had Tyrese Halliburton. So 5 minutes away. Yep, Dow Jones, S&P 500, they're all up today. I'm just going to check my stocks for the next 3 minutes. I'm not going to reveal what's in my portfolio. But yeah, I am going to check my stocks because ESPN is taking forever to the point where I am borderline pissed off. Um, all right, I'm still up 34% on stocks I own. That's good. I really haven't had a chance to go through my portfolio, see if there's anything worth selling off because there really isn't a company that's doing poorly enough to sell off. And I own four of the five best stocks in 2040. I'm not gonna reveal which ones. Okay, I will. We have about a minute to go before the draft. Nvidia, Amazon, Netflix, and I've got Apple, and I got Tesla. So I'm pretty good in that respect. Um, I can just let the wealth grow, maintain those stocks. It'll compound into interest over time, and I'll make money off of that. But yeah, let's. The draft resumes in a minute. Let's find out what the hell the Raptors are going to do here at 31. So Davian Mitchell. Oklahoma is trading Lindy Walters to Golden State for the number 52 pick. So the number 52 pick is also getting moved. And you see what shenanigans I have to deal with. So the Oklahoma City Thunder have acquired the 52nd pick. So Golden State's basically just saying, you know what? We don't need draft picks. Fuck them. We don't need any draft picks. So Golden State's basically going into the offseason saying, we don't need draft picks as long as we have Curry, Clay, and Draymond. We're going to have a window to win a championship because we've won 4 with those guys. That just comes across. Yeah, teams in the second round used to have 2 minutes to make their picks. Each team now has 4 minutes to make their selections after having 5 minutes to make their first round selection. So there's more of a discussion. There's more of, but I am sure. Filipkowski's the only pick that I think would get an A grade at this point. Wes did say he was too soft, but I do think he's a good fit for. I do not like the idea of Tyler Smith here, but I think you got to go Filipkowski here. That is legitimately the only player I could justify giving an A grade or even an A plus grade to in the second round. So whoever takes Filipkowski is going to get the last A plus grade of the day. Jonathan Mogbo. I did mock him at 31. I am going to give this an A grade. I had Jonathan Mogbo at 31. So, yeah, the Toronto Raptors are going to kick off round 2 with Jonathan Mogbo, who I mocked at 31. I'm going to give Toronto another A grade. Jonathan Mogbo was a player I mocked to Toronto at 31. That's a good pick for them. That's a good fit for what they want to do here. I'm not going to give this an A plus, but I will give this an A grade. So Mogbo is officially the selection here. I gave Toronto an A grade for Walter, an A grade. I'm not going to give them an A plus. I think Filipkowski would have been a better fit, but I understand the thought process of Mogbo's more of a 4 at power forward. I totally get that. So Jonathan Mogbo to Toronto player I mocked at 31 goes to Toronto, and I'm not going to keep track. I will give you a list of all the picks I got correct after. Had I put Rasacher in 1 and Sar at 2, I probably would have had the most accurate NBA mock draft in the country once again. But yeah, Mogbo was a player I mocked at 2, and he's the player who Toronto is taking at 31. That is officially official. And this is why you don't trade second-round picks. Mogbo is one of those players that wowed me in the interview process. He had an answer for how he was going to defend bigs like Joker and Joel Embiid. He had an answer for that. He's an energy guy. Okay, this is a great pickup for Toronto. And I talked about Mogbo as a player that, that's a player that and Kyle Filipkowski is going to be a Utah Jazz. So that is the pick. Filipkowski is officially Kyle Filipkowski could be a day one starter in Utah. That's the thing. That's the thing with Kyle Filipkowski that's so appealing is, he's going to be. So Kyle Filipkowski coming off the board very quickly here. And this is probably the last A-plus pick you'll see for this entire draft. So the Utah Jazz. So yeah, I am trying to get as much of my write-up as possible. I do think there is an outside shot he ends up playing right out of the gate. And I do think Kyle Filipkowski is an excellent pick for the Utah Jazz. Cody Williams, Collier, and Filipkowski. Really good drafting by Danny Ainge. You get that last piece. So, who's the best player now that Filipkowski's off the board? We'll have to see. Obviously, the Milwaukee Bucks are now up. I hope the Bucks took a shooting guard that averaged 2.7 points a game. They cannot do anything worse than what they did last night. I'm sure they have a plan to trade for somebody. Tyler Smith from the G League is going 33rd overall. So Tyler Smith is on the board here. And, you know, I know for a fact we had Tyler Smith in the second round. Are there better players on the board? Yes. Tyler Smith is a consensus first round pick, though. So, and he's going to be a backup to Giannis in this scenario. So it's not like it's a horrible scenario or anything. I'm not as high on Tyler Smith as the consensus is, but this is not a horrible spot for him. I had Tyler Smith going 36th. I'm just not impressed with his tape. Consensus first round grade, but I'm just not impressed with the tape. So that's my thought process on that pick. Very short, very blunt. I had him going 36 to the Pacers. I will give the Milwaukee Bucks a B+. I had him going 3 picks later at 36. So I will give this a B plus. Now I'll give it an A minus. Very smart drafting so far. Really don't have any issues with any of the draft picks here. As the Milwaukee Bucks, we're going to give them an A minus. And yeah, I liked him at this spot here. What are the Portland Trailblazers going to do? A lot of teams have drafted well on day 2. That is the big surprise here. Trailblazers, they took Klingon at 7. So yeah, Tyler Kolek. This is D'Angelo Williams. I don't know how credible this Twitter handle is. I believe the pick is Kolek. And that is a good pick. I had a first round grade on Tyler Kolek. I will give the Trailblazers an A grade here. Because Tyler Kolek is one of these players that interviewed very well despite scoring only 7% on the Wonderlic test. He interviewed very well. I saw him on a podcast. I said, you know what? This guy interviewed well enough to warrant a first round grade. And now Portland's getting him as a backup to Scoot Henderson. Really like that move on their part to add him for depth. Jay Mitchell is my top player on the board. I'm going to give this an A minus. I like Kolek. He interviewed really well, but I like a Jay Mitchell a little bit more. Ugh. The pick is in. So A minus for Tyler Kolek. What are the Spurs going to do to build around? Spurs move down for. So the Pacers have moved up for Johnny Furphy. I do not understand what the hell the Pacers are doing. Why move up a spot? Are they getting So we're going to edit these next two picks. So now the San Antonio Spurs have 36 and the Pacers have, and Johnny Furphy's being traded to the Pacers. It's just hilarious how ESPN is saying the Spurs took Johnny Furphy. No, the Pacers traded up for Johnny Furphy. I'll give it a B grade. I don't hate the pick. I do think it's a reach, but I don't dislike the pick, but I don't think it's a spectacular pick either. Um, so we do have news now on so Johnny Furphy is the first Jayhawk off the board here. What are the Spurs getting here at 36? Juan Nunez from Spain. This guy was not even on my board. Do we even have a Spain flag? Surprisingly, we do. Yeah. So The Pistons have gotten the rights to 36, apparently. What the fuck is going on, ESPN? So the Pistons are going to acquire this pick. So the Pistons have traded for 37. Have to update that, and I gave the Spurs. I just trust the Spurs at this point. What are the Pistons doing here at 37? Bobby Klintman. That is a great pick. I had a first round grade on him. You get him for depth. That is a great pick by the Pistons. I had Bobby Klintman in the late first round, so that is a fantastic selection. Klintman is one of my top internationals in the draft. I believe he is number 3 on my board. I believe he's 4th on my board heading into round 2. So he was the 4th best player on my board, and I love the fit here. He's going to Detroit as a backup to So we'll give the Pistons an A-. Really strong drafting by everybody in the second round. Murphy's the lowest grade I've handed out. I mean, the thought process a lot of these teams have. I thought a lot of teams have done well in the second round. The Knicks, the Thunder, I believe, traded for this pick. Hold on, I thought the Knicks had this pick. What's going on here? Are the Thunder picking or are the Knicks picking at 38? ESPN is confusing the fuck out of me. And a Jay Mitchell. That was my number one player on the board. Sam Presti, you bad motherfucker. You just robbed the Knicks out of the number one player on my board. Yeah. So Jalen Wells at 39 is the pick. I'm giving the Grizzlies a C plus. Really not a pick I hate so far. Jalen Wells probably the biggest reach in round two, but that's not a horrible pick by any stretch of the imagination. No, I'm going to give this an A. I do like the Jalen Wells pick. I'm bumping that up to an A plus. Yeah, so and we're also hearing that the Knicks gave Portland 3 round grades to move up for Tyler Kolek. So Tyler Kolek is a Knick now. So the Knicks did acquire pick 34 from Portland. The New York Knicks, they still haven't addressed center. They haven't. Basketball is not positionless. You need a starting five to win in the NBA, and that is the norm. I mean, the Lakers, they played Anthony Davis at the five, LeBron at the four. They were able to make it work. The Knicks do not have that type of positional flexibility. That's the thing. And before I get to Portland's pick, just want to remind our audience that Tyler Kolek has been traded to the Knicks. So we get our first C grade. Yeah, I mean, looking at the draft so far, I feel like everybody did well in the 31 through 39 range, and Portland dropped the ball at 40. I don't dislike East. And okay, we did mock him at 40. I'll give this an A. I forgot we mocked him at 40, so we correctly predicted a lot of picks. This is an A grade. I'm sorry. C grade will be on hold. So you count the 2 first round picks we got right. I've gotten 5 picks correct. If you count the 2 second round picks, I've gotten 5 correct. So had I switched to Rasacher, I'd have 7, and that would have given me the most accurate NBA mock draft in the country. I've got 5 picks so far. Adam Bona, UCLA. Love this pick. He's my best player on the board. I had Adam Bona going in the first round, but the Philadelphia 76ers are neglecting need and going for value, and it's pissing me off. They're basically saying, we don't need a shooting guard to win a championship. We don't need a small forward to win a championship. We don't need a power forward to win a championship. It's really fucking pissing me off how complacent the 76ers are being. I mean, honestly, if Charles Barkley decides to shove his foot up the Philadelphia 76ers general manager's ass, I'm going to look the other way for Charles Barkley and let him do whatever he wants to Philadelphia. That's just how brutal it's been. So I'll bump that Colette pick down to a B grade. But yeah, KJ Simpson, Colorado goes to Charlotte at 42. Yeah, I'm trying. I know I put this guy in my mock draft, the Colorado guard. Nikola Durisic out of Serbia is the pick here. So everybody in the first round is off my board. Teams have done a smarter job drafting. The fact that we're at pick 43, there's only 15 picks left. I have not handed out a C grade in round two. That tells me that these teams have done their homework on this draft class. You know, what are the Hawks going to do here? Because all the first round players on my board, I believe, are gone. Well, the Hawks have traded for his rights. And I'm guessing the Miami Heat have 44 now. So all right, so gotta update the news ticker here. And then we're gonna go with the big surprise here is I've gotten through 43 picks. I have not handed out any. The B minus is the lowest grade I've handed out from a value standpoint, but Atlanta is loading their lineup with wings. They draft another small forward at one. They draft another small forward in the second round. I don't know what the hell they're doing. So hold on a second, guys. Not only did the Miami Heat pick get skipped, Pele Larson from Arizona. Okay, that's not a bad pick. I did have him going somewhere in the second round. I'm just trying to figure out where I had him going. Because I had him going, I think, pretty early. I swear I had this guy in round 2. Shooting guard, I know. It's just Pele Larson was a player I had in the mock somewhere. Did he just miss the cut? Was he Mr. Irrelevant? Don't hate the Pele Larson pick. I swear I put him in my mock draft. I swear we put him somewhere in the mock draft, but I don't see him at the moment. So if that changes, I'll let you guys know. Yeah, I'm seeing if there's a lengthier write-up because I remember putting Pele Larson in the mock. I swear I mocked him somewhere. I don't remember where, but I'm not going to worry about it. Cam Christie's still on the board. There's a lot of talent, but all the players that I mocked in round 1 are gonzo. Look, the Raptors, I think the Raptors have actually done all right as far as drafting this year. I swear we had a write up on Pele Larson. The Clippers get Cameron Christie, the younger brother of Max Christie. That's interesting because Max Christie's on the Lakers. So now when the Lakers and Clippers play each other, the Christie brothers are going to be playing against each other. I do think that's an interesting. I do think that's noteworthy to say the least. Yeah, and Cam Christie was my best player on the board at this point in the second round. Actually, second best player. Kevin McCullough Jr. is my number one player on the board here, but Cam Christie, the younger brother of Max Christie, a close number two. So basically, Bronny. The reason Bronny hasn't been picked yet, Bronny basically told people, unless the Lakers pick me at 55, I'm going to Australia. That's not up for conversation. I'm a Laker or else. I'm a Laker or else I'm off to Australia. So apparently. This second round is going a lot quicker than I anticipated it would. Jesus, the coverage is it's going by so fast. All right. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to rewind my television. If ESPN is going to skip draft picks, it's almost like ESPN is saying, you know what? We want to watch sport. We want to do Sports Center and then the NHL awards. So we're just going to fast forward. We're going to fast forward due to time constraints. Fuck that. You are not fast forwarding on me. I know I'm 2 picks behind, but I am getting, and the Pelicans have traded for this pick for Orlando. Sheesh. So teams are just flipping these picks. Teams are just selling these picks at this point, even though there are decent players on the board. Nobody wants to keep a second round pick and take a chance on somebody. Antonio Reeves out of Kentucky. That is a good pickup. And I'm going to give the Pelicans an A grade, but not an A plus. I do like the value Reeves brings, though, at this point. I swear the Spurs already made their pick. Harrison Ingram is a Spur. I actually had Harrison Ingram heading to the Miami Heat a little earlier in the draft. That is really good value, though. I love what the Spurs are doing, though. I've only handed out one C the entire second round, and it was to the Heat. That should say something. It really should. So, let's find out who the Pacers drafted, because the NBA, they decide to leak these picks. Tristan Newton. Tristan Newton's a great value pick for the Pacers here at 49. I'm not even pissed that Twitch suspended my account for a day. I'm guessing it's over the fact that I called Sam Presti a bad motherfucker on my live stream. And that's intended to be a compliment, okay? If Presti sends me an email and says, look, I want you to take that down, done. We're not even arguing. That's me praising him for his drafting. But if I get an email from Oklahoma City, we will cooperate accordingly. I don't think I'll get an email from Oklahoma City. They're too busy drafting talented players. But yeah, Tristan Newton's a great backup for it's great. Tristan Newton's the perfect backup for Tyrese Halliburton. I'm not even upset at Twitch, but like let's move on to number Pacers have another pick. What the hell are the Pacers doing at 50? I'm guessing they are going to flip 50. That's why I'm guessing they're going to flip 50. But hey, I really do appreciate everyone on the live stream. We had 6. Wow, I think we've had more viewers today. Yeah, we've had 70 viewers today. I think we had like 56 for the first day of the draft. We have 70 right now. And that's even with 14 on Twitch. Wow. Holy crap. So I guess my Twitch numbers are going through the roof despite the despite calling Sam Presti a bad motherfucker. I can't think of any other reason why they'd suspend me for a day. I really can't. I understand that the business decision, you want to prevent foul language. So I get it. I'm not arguing with the thought process. I'm not appealing. I'll do my time and I'll be back on Saturday for all the Twitch viewers. But like, you know, I'm just kind of surprised because usually we only have like 1 or 2 people on Twitch. We have 14 people on Twitch. I guess the Knicks are running Twitch. I can't really think of any other reason. But hey, it is what it is. I'm cool. Let's find out who the Knicks are Pacers are taking at 50. Freaking Knicks fans with but yeah. Yeah. And the Pacers are now, people aren't even allowed to leak picks. Enrique Freeman, that's a good pick. Enrique Freeman was a player I had going. I don't know where I mocked him. I think I had Enrique Freeman going. I had Enrique Freeman going a few picks earlier to the Pacers at 5th. But, he'll go to the G League, most likely a stash and develop player. I do like this pick, though. I had this guy going a few picks earlier. I think the Pacers have actually done surprisingly well on day 2. So the Knicks have 51. The Knicks got 51 from the Wizards. The Knicks need to draft a center. I'm sorry, New York Knicks fans, but this is just inexcusable. You take a guy who had 2.9 points per game in the first round, then you give up 3 second-round picks for another guy who got a freaking 7% on their Wonderlic. Look, I like Kolek. I had a first-round grade on him. But you gave up 3 second-round picks for Kolek, and he scored a 7% on his Wonderlic. I think it's a nothing burger too myself personally, but you don't give up 3% you don't give up 3 second-round picks for a guy that scored 7% on the Wonderlic. That's just nuts. But the Knicks are on the clock here. Their Knicks pick is in. I think Enrique Freeman. We'll update the news ticker here, and then we'll get back to the live stream here. Yeah, Shams. Apparently, Twitter's locked Shams' account. That must be what's happening. The Mavericks have 51. The Dallas Mavericks have 51, so that means the Knicks must have acquired 58. It is possible. So the freaking Knicks are so fucking butthurt that the Pacers took the guy they wanted. They traded the pick to the Mavericks. And to be fair, I had Melvin Ajinka going a few picks earlier at 48. I do like him as a backup to Kyrie Irving. Not a bad player here. Quentin Post. Wow. So the Oklahoma are the I love Quentin Post. He could be the Joker of this draft. I saw his tape yesterday. He made 41% of his 3-point shots. Quentin Post could be the Joker of this year's NBA draft, and he just got Sam Presti did it again. That bad. I can't say it. I got suspended by Twitch. I can't say it. But yes, Sam Presti is a very bad man. But yeah, Melvin Ajinka and Quentin Post, 2 back-to-back picks coming up. This pick at 53 has been traded to the Timberwolves. Yeah. I mean, I'm sorry. That's just Sam Presti has just done an incredible job with this draft. It is there. I'm giving the Mavericks an A grade. I do like the Melvin Ajinka pick. Who the hell did the Pistons take? Oh, Cam Spencer. Cam Spencer is the Timberwolves pick, but they're just flying in with these picks here. That would be hilarious if the Celtics drafted Bronny. Um, but yeah, Cam Spencer is the pick. I believe Cam Spencer, I did have him in my mock. I just don't know where I had him in my mock. Yeah, I had Cam Spencer somewhere in the mock. I do not remember where. He played on Connecticut's championship team. Yeah, so Cam Spencer's a Timberwolf. I'm not even sure where he fits. He's probably going to end up in the G League. So Cam Spencer is a Timberwolf here. Cam Spencer's the only player that made 91% of his free throws in the entire draft span. Anton Watson from Gonzaga. Anton Watson. I'm looking up Anton Watson right now. Is this a small forward or a power forward? The Lakers are on the clock here. And the Lakers, they're showing the Lakers war room here. What are the Lakers going to do? Are they going to pick Bronny here as expected? Bronny James. Bronny James. Bronny James. So Bronny James is the 6th pick I've correctly mocked. Yeah, I only got 6 picks correct in the mock draft this year, but I correctly predicted 3 second-round picks. I doubt anybody beat that. But Bronny James was basically a free space. You knew he was going to get picked by the Lakers. I'm giving the Lakers an A+ and the benefit of the doubt here. I'm giving the Lakers an A+ for Bronny. Yeah, Bronny. People are going to say I'm biased because I'm a Laker fan, but, he's the son of LeBron James. I'm going to give the Lakers the benefit of the doubt. But, yeah, this is, you get a long-term project in Bronny. You get Dalton Connect at 17. This is a great draft for the Lakers. So, Bronny James is going to be a Laker. And the Phoenix Suns, 3 picks left, and we're done with this draft. Oh, we already typed in Bronny James in the ticker. Okay. And the New York Knicks are getting this pick from the Phoenix Suns. Kevin McCullough Jr. I do like Kevin McCullough Jr. I'm only giving the Knicks an A grade. Yeah, you neglected center. I am giving you an A grade, not an A+ for that. But the Knicks taking Kevin McCullough Jr. at 56. Give me a second to update that, everybody. So Kevin McCullough Jr. goes to the Knicks here. I think Trey Alexander is probably the best player on the board at this point. So the Timberwolves have and I'm guessing the Celtics got, I'm guessing and Toronto now owns this pick. The Raptors have traded for this pick. That's why the pick has not come in yet. NBA being slow here. So the Raptors are going to have this pick. I do not know if Raptors could use a center for depth, but the best player on the board is Trey Alexander. I'm not sure if So the Raptors do own 57. And then the Mavericks, did they trade 58 away or not? That's really Ulrich Komachi. Ulrich Komachi is a player I mocked. I guess to center for depth. So that's 57. Ulrich Komachi. The Mavericks have the last pick in the draft. Yeah, so let's find out what Dion Reed's Mavericks are doing with the Mr. Irrelevant pick. So the Knicks did get the Mr. Irrelevant pick when the Mavericks moved up. And the Knicks took a player I mocked at 57. The Knicks get a center to round out the draft, but rather than a starter, they get a bench player to Mitchell Robinson. Yep, so the Knicks end up with so that is the draft, folks. I got stuff I need to do. I got to get prepared for tomorrow night's NHL draft, which will be at 7 p.m. Might be at 7:30. We're gonna go over to NHL Network. No, let's actually stay on ESPN for a second. Yeah, the NHL draft starts at 7. I don't think the first pick will happen until 7:30. And look, the Professional Fighters League could get delayed due to how long the NHL draft is. You know, I'd be so pissed if the ESPN cut out of the NHL draft to go to the Fighters League at 10 p.m. But that's such a cop out by Bristol. Really is when you think about it. But yes, 7 p.m. I have the live stream scheduled for tomorrow. Thank you guys for tuning into Talk Shoe. I will be back tomorrow for the NHL draft. 71 people came in to listen. 54 on X, 14 on Twitch, and 3 on Facebook. I really appreciate it, guys. You guys are amazing. All right, I'm Chris Ransom. The Utopia of Sports is signing off until tomorrow evening. We'll be back for the NHL draft. Find out where Macklin Celebrini and friends get drafted starting tomorrow at 7 with Mike Greer and the San Jose Sharks on the clock. Good night.